This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.
Mornings have a rhythm. You can hear it, feel it. And at Quaker, we fuel it. With 100% whole grain oats and a good source of fiber in every bowl, helping you turn that rhythm into your soundtrack for a great day. Fuel to start whatever's next. Quaker, official sponsor of FIFA World Cup 26.
I-O, let's go! I-O, let's go!
Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session all about becoming your own boss. And I was working with a client that was frustrated that they worked very, very hard and that all of their dedication, hard work, thoughtfulness was actually making the person they worked for wealthier rather than themselves. And I think a lot of employees feel this way, that actually no matter how hard they work, generally a lot of the value accrues to the business owner, not the employee. And even if there's bonuses and even if there's pay rises, most of the value actually goes to the owner of the legal entity. And this client absolutely felt this way, but they did feel that it would be a risk for them to be their own boss. So this hypnosis session does two key things. One, it makes them feel that they already have a lot of the skills and that the risk is worth taking, and there are ways that they can mitigate that risk. The other key element is to look at their particular sector. So they worked in the healthcare sector and they were working for doctors. But the problem with that is that to be a doctor, you need to have certain qualifications, but to have a business that hires doctors, you don't. You could have a healthcare company and then the doctors work for you, but so too could other entities. And that might be nurses, that might be resort owners, that might be drivers. And what you're going to hear in this session are ideas that would have made sense for this particular client running a healthcare concierge business or a post-surgery recovery business, or even doing healthcare retreats in the island that they were living on, which is a paradise island called Bermuda. All of that makes sense for this particular client. It's unlikely that you are listening to this and that three things are true. It's unlikely that you're an employee that works in healthcare and also lives in Bermuda. So I want you to listen to this from the lens of it being a metaphor and to inspire you to take the skills that you already have and to explore what would it be for you to be the business owner rather than the employee, and to give yourself permission to consider that and put plans together and explore actually testing different ideas in that particular area. Now, this session was created for an individual. Ignore any suggestions that aren't right for you. But if you like the idea of a bespoke session created just for you, there is going to be the very first link in the show notes is going to be a link to see how to work with me directly rather than listening to the recordings that I've done for other people. And it also gives you a code to get a 50% discount on that initial consultation call. So you can ask me any questions about what working together is going to be like. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be distracted or disturbed. Relax and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, give permission to release any tension, any stress, any worries, but also any old ideas about limitations, about what a person like you is capable of. Because as you breathe in and breathe out, you can acknowledge we all hear stories about what people like us are capable of doing. But what if you're destined for so much more? So as you breathe in pure resourcefulness. And as you exhale, release any ideas of limitations. Maybe it's a belief. Maybe part of your identity. Be willing to release anything that could stop you stepping into what you've always been fully capable of becoming. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe. And so, as your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. That's it. Here in this moment, you don't need to force yourself to relax. And you don't need to try to make anything happen. There are moments in life where the most useful thing you can do is to simply pause long enough to notice what has already been trying to get your attention. And perhaps right now is one of those moments. A moment to step back from those familiar routines. The expectations, that familiar identity that you've been living with so long. And I wonder if you can begin to see your life from a different position. No longer someone simply working within someone else's business, but as the kind of person more than capable of creating one. So with your eyes heavier and even more relaxed, just allowing the sounds around you to become part of this experience. And as your breathing finds its own natural rhythm, and your mind becomes quieter in its own way, there is nothing you need to prove here, and nothing you need to perform. So you can simply allow yourself to become curious about what might be possible when your abilities are no longer confined by the structure in which they currently operate. Sometimes a person can spend years believing that they need more skill or more confidence, that they need more qualifications or more permission. when the real issue was never a lack of ability. It was simply that their ability was being used inside a structure designed to reward someone else. But there's no need to resent that structure, and no need to blame anyone. In fact, it's evidence that a business owner creates a structure, while an employee or a contractor works within it. And both can create value. But the financial rewards flow differently, because the risks and responsibilities and even ownership are different. And something within you can resonate with that idea now. And not defensively or emotionally, but just clearly. Your value, your work ethic, your capabilities have never been the problem. The only question is how that value is organized, how it's positioned and protected, and fundamentally how it's rewarded. So, take a deeper breath now. Perhaps you could imagine that you are standing at the edge of a calm Bermudan shoreline, where the water is clear and the horizon is wide. And in the distance, the ocean seems to merge with the blueness of the sky. And imagine feeling the warmth of that humid air and the steadiness of the ground beneath you, and the openness of the horizon ahead. There are no walls here, no ceiling, no office defining your role, no job title limiting what you are permitted to imagine. Here, within your imagination, there is only space. And I want you to imagine a pathway near the water. A simple path leading gently upwards. And as you follow that path, you can allow each step to represent a shift in perspective. Imagine taking a step as you shift from effort to leverage. Another step shifting from helping to organizing. Another step represents moving from earning wages to creating massive value. And then from waiting to initiating. And maybe one more step that represents a transition from employee to owner. And with each step, you may begin to leave behind an outdated assumption. Many people assume that to earn more requires working harder, or that security comes from employment, or that doctors must always be above you in some structure of society or income. Maybe deep down there's an assumption that people skills are worth less than clinical skills, or the assumption that because you are not the person performing a procedure, you can't be the person creating the business. And as those assumptions fall away, I wonder if you can realize something important. That doctors need patience, and patients need trust. That hotels and resorts need occupancy. That therapists need clients. That businesses need coordination. That real people facing treatment need reassurance, communication. They need guidance and they need care. And those abilities are not small. They are commercial assets. Your warmth is an asset. Your ability to connect is an asset. Your emotional intelligence and understanding of people is a valuable asset. And your capacity to help someone feel safe, seen, and supported, and your knowledge of healthcare are all valuable assets. And an asset becomes more valuable when it's placed inside the right structure. So imagine this winding path, perhaps going up dunes or a hillside. Imagine climbing up this path where you see a beautiful building overlooking the ocean. And it's not a hospital or an office. I want you to imagine a building that shapeshifts. Maybe it's a clinic that shifts into a retreat, but it's also a business and also a sanctuary. Maybe there's even a name above the entrance, and you don't need to know what that name is yet, because names can come later. First comes the idea, and then the business model, and then the test, and then the proof. And when it works, you grow it. And imagine walking inside this fluid, shape-shifting building. And notice the building has several doors. Behind one door is a healthcare concierge business. And behind that door, you see clients arriving from overseas. And they may be anxious or uncertain. And they don't know which doctor to trust, or where to stay, or how to organize transport, or even what recovery will really involve. And you are there to make the complicated simple. So you listen, you understand and coordinate. You find the medical professionals. You arrange the accommodation. You organize transport and give continuity. And so you turn fragmented services into a complete reassuring experience, where the doctor performs the clinical work, and the hotel provides the room, and the driver provides transport, and the therapist or nurse provides care and support. But it's your company, your business that brings it all together. And so the client pays your company for the complete package, and your company then pays the providers. And what's left is your margin for creating the client, organizing the experience, and taking all of that commercial responsibility. And you don't have to pretend to be a doctor, and you're not giving medical advice, but you are building a business around coordination, trust, acquisition, and care. And maybe you recognize how natural that feels, because you've already been doing parts of this, and you know just how much of this feels more than capable, while other bits you would need to learn. But you can learn. You've been learning your whole life. And then you see another door. And behind this door, we can call it premium post-operative recovery. Imagine seeing a client recovering in a beautiful room overlooking the water. And there is medical supervision where needed, nourishing food and transport, physiotherapy or comfort. There is privacy, respect. There is a calm environment in which recovery can happen properly. It's not rushed. It's not institutional. It's not confusing. Behind this door, you have built the bridge between medicine and hospitality, between treatment and recovery, between clinical competence and human care. And you understand that some people aren't looking for the cheapest option. They are looking for the best experience, the greatest trust with the least stress, and the highest degree of personal attention. And those people will pay for certainty, privacy, and thoughtful coordination. And then you walk towards another door. This is a door that represents an executive mental health and addiction retreat. And you notice the environment is discreet, calm and dignified. No shame, no chaos, and no institutional coldness. People come here because they need space from the life that has overwhelmed them. And maybe they're executives or founders, professionals or parents, maybe public figures or people who are highly capable in one area of life and then quietly struggling in another. And you realize that your personal understanding gives you something that no textbook can manufacture. Because you understand what addiction can do to a family. You understand the emotional complexity around it. And you understand that the person behind the problem truly needs to be treated as a valuable, real, respected human being. And that authenticity becomes part of the trust people feel around you, where you coordinate doctors and therapists, coaches, nutritionists, and accommodation. They invoice your company, and your company delivers the program. And you're not merely helping another organization operate. You've become the person who creates the organization. But before we leave this shape-shifting building, there's just one more door. And behind it is a 1-week specialist retreat. And maybe it changes week by week. Maybe 1 week it focuses on stress, then another on sleep, or maybe on chronic pain or an autoimmune issue. Perhaps burnout, women's well-being, maybe even emotional resilience. These 7-day retreats can be whatever you want them to be. A hotel has empty rooms during quieter periods of the year. And there are people out there who need help with a problem or want to achieve an outcome. The hotel wants occupancy and the practitioners want paid work. And what if you bring these needs together? Maybe 20 people, maybe 30 or 40. A carefully designed experience. Accommodation, education, support, movement, nutrition, professional guidance and human connection. And once again, value is created because you can see how all the separate pieces fit together. That is entrepreneurship. It's not having every answer and certainly not doing every job. You are the conductor. The doctors, the nurses, the therapists, the resort staff. They are musicians in your orchestra. Because entrepreneurship is recognizing value, creating an offer, gathering the resources, and then taking responsibility to deliver on that promise. And then you build the structure through which value can flow. Money follows value, but not all value is rewarded equally. Financial return is influenced by the value created, the risk accepted, and the number of people served. And then the structure through which that value is delivered. And you already know that as an employee, your income is usually limited. But as an owner, your income can expand through systems, partnerships, margins, intellectual property, reputation, and scale. And that doesn't mean that business ownership is easy. It just means that the reward is connected to responsibility. And you are on the verge of accepting that greater responsibility. And not all at once and not recklessly, but intelligently. I want you to step back, knowing what's behind all the doors. And I want you to give yourself permission to feel capable, to explore a future where you are the owner, you are the conductor, you are the entrepreneur. You create the value, and other people are working for you. And as you hold that thought of an idea, imagine a valuable seed being planted deep in your subconscious mind, already starting to take root. And don't be surprised in the days and weeks that followed if more and more ideas are evidence that that seed is starting to sprout and grow. As you leave that shape-shifting building, back down by the ocean, imagine floating back to your body with a feeling of worthiness, capability, resourcefulness, but also excitement that the future is yours for the taking. Very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, and you will awaken feeling ready to take a risk, to allow dramatically more value to flow into your life. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Connect and calibrate into the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.